Hey everybody, today I am going to be talking about hiccups. To begin, I want everyone to hold their breath for 10 seconds. Ready? Okay. Awesome, good job. That is usually how long it takes to get rid of hiccups when they occur. Everybody has had hiccups at least one point in their life, whether it is from when you were a newborn or when you were an adult. Everybody has had them. And unfortunately, there are some cases where if you have them too long, if you look over here on the right, it talks about nerve damage or irritation to the throat, the neck, or even the eardrums. It also talks about the central nervous system disorders, but I will get into those later on in the presentation. So today I want to talk about why we get hiccups, two different kinds of hiccups that we can get, and how to make them go away. To begin, we'll talk about understanding the background of hiccups. What are hiccups? They occur according to a case study in Sage Journals. It is when there's an involuntary spasm and contraction of the diaphragm and the sudden closing of the epiglottis. This happens, so when we are breathing normally, our diaphragm contracts upward, pushes the air upward, epiglottis will open and push the air out your nose or mouth. When we have the hiccups, it'll contract downward, pulling the epiglottis downward, all while air is trying to be pushed out the airway. So the combination of those things allow the hic sound that happens when we get hiccups. The medical terminology dictionary says that hiccups, the official term for hiccups is singulata, and this means, in Latin terms, caught in the act of sobbing. Hiccups occur when we are consuming heavily carbonated beverages, eating large meals, over consuming alcohol, or even smoking. There are a couple other non-physical ways that hiccups occur, and that is from anxiety or even overexcitement. There are more severe cases like persistent hiccups that occur from poor health or underlying physical conditions or even accidents. I'll talk about persistent and acute hiccups next. Persistent hiccups usually occur when there is damage to the lateral medulla, which, if you look over here, the hiccup center is the medulla oblongata, and any damage that occurs to this will cause persistent hiccups. But that comes from like strokes usually, and like that occur and it causes a blockage. But there are other physical conditions, according to a report about persistent hiccups, that persistent hiccups can occur from any cardiac issues, Parkinson's disease, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and electrolyte imbalance. But overall, there hasn't been a whole lot of research done on these sorts of hiccups. So the people who have persistent hiccups, usually they have suffered for a long time because there really is no way to get rid of them that we know of. The other form of hiccup that I want to talk about, the one that we are all probably more familiar with, are acute hiccups. They are more common in pregnant women or those who have pancreatitis, bowel disease, or even pneumonia. And you can usually get rid of these by certain physical maneuvers that I will get into next. There we go. So we'll talk about how to get rid of acute hiccups. So I had you guys hold your breath in the beginning of the presentation. And so holding your breath for 10 seconds is a good way to get rid of them. But according to the AARP website, if we give hiccups time, they will go away. I've noticed that when I don't focus on my hiccups, they go away. Like if I get in the car while I have hiccups and I start driving somewhere and focus on something else, they go away. And I'm always just like, interesting, my hiccups are gone. And I didn't have to do anything to get rid of them. A couple other ways are drinking through a straw or taking a big gulp of water. But another way that I have learned from my younger sister, she told me many years ago to get a big glass of water, put a paper towel over it. Yes, I get a lot of funny looks when I try to tell people this. And you drink through the paper towel. And every time I've gotten hiccups and I use that method, they go away, like without fail. So next time you have hiccups, I definitely recommend using that method. There are a couple other ways to get rid of hiccups or even just to avoid them. Slides are acting pretty slow right now. Sorry, guys. There we go. Other solutions are to just avoid eating hot food, avoid heavily carbonated beverages, avoid large meals, overconsumption of alcohol, smoking. If you avoid all of these ways, and you get hiccups a lot, I feel like that could help absolutely at the end of the day. Overall, I hope you have learned why we get hiccups and are able to understand, I guess, the science between it more. I hope you learned about new things. I have never known about persistent hiccups until I started researching this topic. And I feel like that's something that people should know, especially if it is something that you struggle with. And I also hope you learn how to get rid of them. Next time you get hiccups, I hope you think of this presentation and are able to try out a couple of the things that I've mentioned. Thanks for listening, guys.